Hi, this is Cami. Welcome back to Classics and Cats. Alright, so today we are doing a tag video. I was tagged by Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures on YouTube, and it's so funny because she tagged me a long time ago, and I was like, yes, I want to do this tag, and it just kind of got like, oh, I'll do it this time, I'll do it this time, I'll do it this time, and it just kept getting pushed back. Well, it's funny because last night I had a dream that I ran into her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that video, I swear, like I keep meaning to. And so this morning when I woke up, I was like, I have to do this video, it's a sign. So we're gonna do the video today. It's called the mood reader tag. So I think it's about being a mood reader or not. And if you're familiar what that is, it's like you don't choose a book based on, like, some people, they make a TBR, I'm gonna read this one, then this one, then this one. And then like they just go down the list. Or a mood reader is somebody that's like, well, I know what books I wanna read, but I'm gonna choose what I read next based on how I feel at the time. And I think I'm definitely a mood reader. So let's get into these questions. There's 11. Okay. So, also, Berna is from Turkey, and she loves to read historical fiction, romance, thrillers, and mystery. Which is funny that she is from Turkey, and I had a dream that I ran into her. It's pretty far away from the Midwest of the United States. But that just shows you how bad I felt that I hadn't done this video yet. So here we go. So question 1. Do you consider yourself a mood reader? I do, because I have so many books that I want to read. You know, I have a bunch on my TBR, and I try to make a TBR for the whole list, or for the whole year. And like, I need to do a video that shows you what I've actually read compared to my TBR, because obviously I do not just stick to my TBR. I probably only read, you know, half a dozen that were on my TBR list, and everything else has been off of it. But that's just like when I finish a book, I feel like it's like, what am I in the mood for? Like, how do I feel? Like, do I want to read something heavy? Do I want to read something light? Do I want to read like an old classic, a modern classic? Like, what am I in the mood for? And it's just based on what storyline sounds good to me at that time. Like, ooh, yeah, I want to get into that right now. So, like, I just read Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I loved it. It's a classic. It's a story that I felt like I knew it was going to be a favorite, and it absolutely was. So now when I was choosing what to read next, you know, I had all these books in mind. You know, I looked at The Awakening by Kate Chopin, which I would like to read. You know, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. There were just a few books that I was like, what do I want to read next? And I ended up picking up Silas Marner because I read the synopsis and I'm like, yes, I'm in the mood for that. That story is appealing to me right now. So yes, I definitely consider myself a mood reader. So number 2, do you set TBR lists and do you stick to them? I mean, yes, I make them. I love to make lists. I love to make a list about anything. Do I stick to them? No, I don't at all. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on that before. I don't stick to my TBR list. Number 3, do books affect you emotionally? Does the mood of a book rub off on you? Yes and no. I would say that when I'm in the book, when I'm reading it, I feel it. And I can be upset by it. You know, if it's something heavy or sad or touching, like that affects me in the moment. But I wouldn't say that carries on throughout my day or anything. Like, I don't, once I step away from the book and I'm back in, you know, with my family or, you know, anything else, like, I'm able to disassociate with it and just, you know, return to my normal state of mind and everything. It's really just when I'm absorbed in the book that I feel what the book is trying to make me feel. Number 4, when you're feeling sad, what do you read? Or do you not read when you're sad? Okay, so if I'm just sad, like, I don't know. I don't really get sad unless I'm really struggling with something. And if I'm at that point, then no, I don't read. Like, if you look at my reading challenge on Goodreads, you can see the years that I was really struggling and my numbers were just really low. Like, this year has been amazing. I feel good. I'm happy. My life feels solid. And I'm in a good place mentally and emotionally, and my numbers are like the highest that they've been. And it's just very telling. It's funny that you can really gauge like where I was in my life in those years based on my TBR list. So the previous 2 years, I struggle with mental health issues. And when I was in my hardest time going through those emotions and feelings and just trying to get, on track, you can really see that in my stats and my numbers. So no, I'm a happy person. I am generally happy most of the time. The only time is when my mental health issues are overwhelming. So yeah. And maybe we can talk more about that if anybody's interested. Maybe I can do a video where I talk about that. But so no, if I'm generally not just sad, like I'm always kind of up. So I read all the time unless I'm so low. I'm either I'm either up here or rock bottom. So yeah. But the good news is I'm doing great this year. All right, so number 5, most often do you use reading to escape, to learn, or to critically reflect? I would say I'm not necessarily escaping, but I just love stories. I love movies. I love books. I love hearing stories and just like, I don't know. That's what I love about them. And learning, you are learning things even without trying. Like no matter what genre of books you're reading, you are learning something. You're learning new words. You're learning about the genre. You're learning about different characters or how people would interact, or like things that are true, that are from a different time period that you wouldn't normally learn about, like you learn through reading. And so I think it's not intentional that I'm learning, but I am learning as a side effect of reading. So I would say I generally read for enjoyment, and it's not to escape there. And I don't have anything that I want to escape from, but I like to absorb stories. I like to accumulate and collect stories in my brains. So yeah, that's why I read. 6, what is a book that made you laugh out loud? Okay, so I would say I don't generally laugh out loud about books, but I did. This year I read The Durrells in Corfu, and my sister-in-law gave that to me as a book, and I did not expect to love it as much as I did, and I laughed out loud a few times. It was very clever, very witty. It was funny, and I laughed. I loved that one. 7, what is a book that has made you cry? Or if you don't cry, one that really moved you? Ooh, that's tough. What one did I just read that made me... Oh, I think it was A Tree Grows in Brooklyn that got me choked up at the end. But yeah, I would say I'm more touched or moved or like, oh, or, but I wouldn't say that I'm moved to tears generally, but there are a couple that have really gotten me. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that one, but I'll list it below. Okay. And number 8, what is a book that you didn't even know how you felt about? I mean, I would say I generally know how I feel about them. I either enjoyed it and I know why, or I didn't enjoy it and I know why. So I know I read, like, there's ones that I was just kind of like, well, that was disappointing. Like, it wasn't what I expected. Or, like, for example, I just read Stuart Little, and it just kind of ended and it didn't go anywhere. And there were all these story points left open. And it was just like, what? It just felt like somebody sat down and started writing a story and just never finished it, and it got published. And I hate saying that because it's Stuart Little, it's a classic, and there were some really cute parts in it, and it was just like, what is this? So it's not like I know why I liked it, I know what I liked about it, and I know what I didn't like about it and why. So I wouldn't say that there are books that I don't know how. I generally know how I feel about them. Number 9, are you more likely to read on a sunny day or a cloudy day? All the days. Rain, sun, shine, cloud, hurricane. We don't have hurricanes here. Whatever the weather, I don't care. I want to read. That would be like me being like, oh, it's beautiful. And this is something I would totally say, like, the sun's shining, it's 75 degrees. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect day to sit outside and read. Also me, oh my gosh, it's storming. It's so bad outside. What a perfect day to sit inside and read. You know, they're all good. They all work for reading. Do you usually set the mood when you read? Music, lights, smells, etc.? Nope. I pick up my book whenever the heck I can. So, no, but that sounds lovely, actually. Um, uh, yeah, lights. I mean, I need enough light to read by. Sometimes that's just a little reading lamp in bed after the lights are out. Sometimes it's in the living room with all the lights on. You know, I don't set a mood, definitely. And I don't really set music intentionally. Like if there happens to be music on, I'll leave it. But I don't set the mood. I'm like, oh, here's a moment I can sit down and read. That's it. That's all the prep and mood setting that I do. Okay, number 11. Can you leap from book to book, or do you need buffer time in between them? I can leap from book to book. I set one down and I immediately go to my shelf when I'm done reading it. I immediately go to my shelf and say, what do I want to read next? And then I pick it up. I don't know if I would say that, like, if something was, nope, even then. I was gonna say if something was really bad, but nope, I would definitely pick something up, be like, I gotta wash that out of my brain. So yeah, nope, no buffer time. I immediately want to get into another story. So yeah, that was the mood reader tag that is long overdue. Thank you, Berna, so much for tagging me. I have wanted to do this for so long and it just kept getting pushed back. But you came to me in my dreams last night and touched on my guilty conscience, and I got it done. So yeah. So thank you again for tagging me, and thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. And you have to let me know down below how you feel about being a mood reader or not, because I'm interested to hear like how many people can make a list and they just go down the list, and like if you enjoy that and why. Because maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll be like, look, I'm gonna make a list and just stick to it and see how I feel. Like, because I still think even if I did that, I would get right into the book anyway. Like, I don't think it would really affect my enjoyment of a book. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm interested to hear what y'all say. So take care. Remember, be kind to yourself as well as others, and always be kind to cats. Thanks. Bye.